Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Candlestick Park in San Francisco. It's the New York Mets playing the San Francisco Giants in the first game of a doubleheader. Rheingold beer brings you National League Baseball with the New York Mets. Rheingold, New York City's largest selling beer. And what a remarkable thing that is. In New York, a city of so many different people with different tastes, one beer has become the favorite. Rheingold Extra Dry. Now, we don't know why so many people like our beer, but we must be doing something right.
Today's game is also brought to you by WGY, your sports station for the Great Northeast. WGY brings you the full schedule of the Mets' regular season games live from Major League parks throughout the country.
With Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson from Candlestick Park with the broadcast of today's doubleheader between the New York Mets and the San Francisco Giants. The Mets won the opener of the series Friday night, 7-5. The Giants won 4-3 yesterday afternoon. The weather in San Francisco, it's a beautiful day. Skies are brilliant blue and clear. The breeze, very moderate right now. It'll be much stronger later in the day. And the temperature at game time, and game time is high noon here in San Francisco, is 60 degrees. The opening game pitchers for New York, Larry Benarth will be on the mound, and for the Giants, Juan Maritel. We'll be back with the start of today's first game in just 1 minute. Now here's the word from Sunoco.
This is the sound that means news, up to the minute, concise, and complete. From the facilities of NBC, Associated Press, United Press International, the United States Weather Bureau, a staff of stringers throughout a 26-county area, and a newsroom staff of experienced news people, WGY keeps you informed of the latest happenings. More than 20 times a day in regularly scheduled newscasts from 6 in the morning to midnight, WGY brings you the latest news from around the world, around the area, and across the street. And when something newsworthy happens, you get it in bulletin form when it happens. All this, plus specialized programs on farm news, sports, weather, and business, make WGY's news department your best information center for what's going on in the world today.
Juan Maritel has completed his warm-ups. Larry Benarth throwing in the last of his. The Giants are taking the field. For the batting orders and the lineups for the first game, let's check in with Ralph.
For the New York Mets, Ron Hunt will lead off and play second base. Leon Jones will be in center field batting second. John Stevenson, the catcher, batting third. Dick Stewart at first base in the cleanup position. Batting fifth, playing right field, Johnny Lewis. The sixth batter will be the left fielder, Ed Kranepool. Batting seventh and playing third base, Chuck Hiller. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Roy McMillan. And the pitcher, Larry Benarth, will be batting in the ninth position. For the Giants, the leadoff batter will be Don Landrum, playing in center field in place of Willie Mays. Willie being given some rest here in the first game of this doubleheader. And now with the Giants in the field, our national anthem. sunshiny day here in San Francisco, California. The Giant lineup: Don Landrum leading off and playing center field. Jim Davenport batting second and playing shortstop. Batting third at first base, Willie Mccovey. In the cleanup position, playing third base, Jim Rayhardt. Batting fifth and playing in left field, Cap Peterson. Batting sixth, the catcher, Tom Haller. Batting seventh in right field, Ollie Brown. The eighth batter will be the second baseman, Hal Lanier. And the pitcher, Juan Maritel, batting ninth. Juan just running out to the mound from the San Francisco dugout. And he is now taking his warm-up pitches, all set to go. He has a record this year of 7 wins and no losses. His last time out against the Dodgers, he was not involved in the decision. He pitched 10 innings. Umpires for the game today: Mel Steiner behind home plate. The umpire now calling the pitches on Juan Maritel as he warms up. Al Bollick at first base, Augie Donatelli the umpire at second base, and at third base, Stan Landis. The ball around the infield, and now as this doubleheader comes your way, here is Bob Murphy to take you there, right down the line.
Okay, Ralph, Ron Hunt stepping in to lead off against Juan Maritel. The amazing Mr. Hunt batting 347. He has had 14 hits in 20 official times at bat against the Giants this year, a 700 batting average. And he has reached base 17 times in his last 19 trips to the plate against Giant pitching. He has paid the price. Friday night he was hit by Gaylord Perry. Yesterday he was hit by Bob Priddy. And the first pitch of the afternoon is on the outside corner, strike one call. Ron spent about 2 hours before the game today on the rubbing table, taking heat treatments where he was hit above the right elbow yesterday, then whirlpool treatments so he could play this ball game today. Maritel out of the windup. Here's the pitch on the way. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So right now you have 2 men squaring off who are in the midst of phenomenal streaks. Juan Maritel, the Giant ace, has won 7, lost none. Lifetime against New York, Mr. Maritel, 14-0. Curve is over, a call strike, gets 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maritel's last start was Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. He went 10 innings of a 13-inning game, did not figure in the decision. In 10 innings, he gave up just 1 run. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ron Hunt. The doubleheader just underway, and now the Dominican dandy, Juan Maritel, looks in for his sign from Tom Haller. Here's the windup by Maritel, the pitch, and it's a pop-up down the right field line. It may go foul. Running for it hard is Mccovey. He can't reach it. It lands beyond his reach in foul territory down toward the bullpen. Running it out. Now returns to the plate with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Maritel has won 7 and lost none. In 69 innings, he has given up only 6 earned runs, so his earned run average is 0.78. The 1-2 delivery is foul back into the crowd, no play. Maritel has started 8 games. He has 6 complete games. In 69 innings, he has given up only 42 base hits. So right now, Juan Maritel is the toast of the National League pitchers. The 1-2 delivery, a foul ball, back to the screen, no play. Larry Benarth will start his first game of the new season as he hooks up against Maritel. In the second game, Jack Hamilton will pitch against Ray Sadecki. Pitching 1 and 2. A swing and a foul tip. It's missed, beg your pardon. The ball was stopped by Haller. He picks it up and tags Hunt out. 1 away as Maritel strikes out Hunt. That brings up Cleon Jones. Cleon hitting .296. They start the doubleheaders on Sunday at noon in San Francisco to take advantage of the good weather. The winds you hear so much about in the Candlestick Park area usually come up around 2:30 in the afternoon. So at least they get one game in without being bothered by the wind. It's thrown to Cleon, a foul ball back into the screen, no play. The Giants have Willie Mccovey playing first, Hal Lanier at second, Jim Davenport is short, and Jim Rayhardt at third. Cap Peterson is in left field, Don Landrum in center, and around in right field, Ollie Brown. A drive hit toward the alley in left center field, a base hit by Cleon Jones. Running over for it is Cap Peterson. He's up with the ball in the first hop, and Cleon takes a long turn with a solid base hit to left center field. Now Johnny Stevenson. Johnny has had phenomenal success against Giant pitching so far this year. And he's batting .423. Johnny Stevenson, Mets receiver, left-hand batter. A swing and a miss on a curve, strike one. Dick Stewart is on deck, and then Johnny Lewis. Mets have played their best ball ever on the road this year. A drive hit in the air to right field. Brown racing over it, makes the catch near the line. It was well hit by Johnny Stevenson, but it stayed up, and Ollie Brown came toward the line to pick it up. On the road this year, the Mets are playing .500 ball. They've won 6 and lost 6 of their road games. 2 outs and 1 on. The hitter is Dick Stewart. Dick hitting .212. 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. Now Maritel lobs the ball over to Mccovey. Juan Maritel is now 28 years old. Last year he won 22, lost 13. Here's the pitch on the way, and the breaking ball is low inside, ball one. Lifetime, Maritel has won 112 and lost only 52. Giants have their infield around the left against Dick Stewart. And the pitch to Stewart, a half swing, and the ball is over on the outside corner, strike two. Every game this year between the Mets and Giants have been outstanding games. Rob Gardner, after the third inning in yesterday's game, was sensational. Giants won on an unearned run. Breaking ball over for a call strike, 1-2. Gardner, after the third inning in yesterday's game, retired 15 of the last 17 men. He gave up just 2 singles after the third. Now the pitch to Stewart, a pitch out, but nothing was on. So the count is 2-2. Beautiful day in the San Francisco Bay Area. We hope you're having a beautiful day back home in New York. Now Maritel checks the runner. The pitch on the way. A little ground ball hit down the third baseline, pounced on by Haller. He throws to Mccovey, and the side is out. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Score in the middle of the first, the Mets nothing, and the Giants coming to bat. Did you ever stop to think of how many lonesome travelers there are here and yonder and how thirsty they get?
Well, I am a lonely and a lonesome traveler. I am a lonely and a lonesome traveler. I am a lonely and a lonesome traveler. I've been traveling on. I traveled here and then
From California to New York, the American folk singer travels here and yonder, carrying with him the music of the whole world and its peoples. And sometimes when the traveling gets thirsty, he puts down his guitar and accompanies himself with a cold beer, maybe Rheingold. And in New York City, where more songs and travelers stop than anywhere else in the world, more people buy Rheingold Extra Dry than any other beer. How come? Maybe it's the Oregon hops we use. Who knows? But we must be doing something right.
Larry Bernarth on the mound for New York, starting his first ball game of the season. Johnny Stevenson behind the plate. The Mets have Dick Stewart at first, Ron Hunt at second, Roy McMillan playing short, and Chuck Hiller will be at third. In the outfield, Eddie Kranepool in left, Cleon Jones in center, and Johnny Lewis is around at right. The leadoff batter will be the center fielder, Don Landro. The Cubs and the Braves playing a doubleheader today in Atlanta. Braves scored 2 runs off Dick Ellsworth in the first inning. Blasingame pitching for Atlanta. The Pirates and Dodgers will play a single game in Los Angeles. St. Louis and the Reds playing a single game in Cincinnati, and the Reds are out in front 1-0 on a home run by Vada Pinson. Bob Gibson against Jim O'Toole. The Reds have now won 6 in a row, 12 of their last 14. They are really a surging ball club. Bills and the Astros play at the Astrodome in Houston. Last night, the Astros rallied, getting 3 in the 9th inning, and went on to win in the 11th. Bernarth delivers to Landrum, inside and low. It's ball 1. In the American League, Washington 5, the California Angels 1 after 5 innings in their first game. Klein and Burdett are in the ball game in relief, and Rick Rayhardt has hit his 11th home run of the year. It's the only run for the Angels so far in the ball game. They trail 5-1 at the end of 5. Landrum runs up as if to bunt, doesn't offer, and the breaking ball is over for a strike. Cleveland and Chicago tied 1-1 at the end of 2. Sonny Siebert against Gary Peters. However, Peters came out of the game in the first inning, and Joel Horland came in. The Yankees lead the Minnesota Twins 5-3 after 7.5. Ground ball bounced to shortstop. Roy McMillan is up with it. Good throw across the diamond to Dick Stewart. 1 man out. Stottlemyre, the Yankee pitcher in the first game of the doubleheader in the stadium. The Yankees have had 2 home runs, one by Jake Gibbs with nobody on, and a 2-run homer by Joe Pepitone in the 7th. Detroit 3, Baltimore nothing after 5. Miggy Lolich against Frank Bertagna. And Kansas City won, the Red Sox nothing after 4.5. Ralph Terry pitching against Earl Wilson. Jim Davenport is up, and the pitch is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Strike on Jim Davenport. The Mets will go to Houston following the doubleheader today, where they tackle the Astros in 2 night games on Tuesday and Wednesday night. The Astros have been playing real good ball. They're just 2.5 games out of first place, and they're 7 games over 500. They've won 21, lost 14. 1-1 delivery to Davenport is whacked foul back into the upper deck, no play. They were leading the Phillies last night 3-0. Going to the 9th inning, the Phillies tied it up, but the Astros won it in the 11th, winning 4-3. Good crowd gathering here at Candlestick Park for the big doubleheader today between New York and San Francisco. Cookie Lavagetto on the lines at first base, and Charlie Fox coaching at third. Inside and low, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jim Davenport. Wes Westrom has been wanting to give Larry Bernarth a start. He has handed him a rugged assignment today in pitting him against Juan Maritel. Bernarth delighted to get the opportunity to start, and Larry has pitched well in the past against the Giants. Foul ball back. He turned in a very effective and long relief stint in that always to be remembered 23-inning game at Shea Stadium. Larry started a ball game the next to last day of the season last year against Philadelphia. And the second game of that doubleheader went 18 innings. Does that mean anything? Now Bedard out of his windup, the 2-2 pitch. Inside and high, it's ball 3. Jerry Arrigo joined the ball club. He arrived in San Francisco last night. Is in uniform. He has been assigned at number 26. Wes Westrom talked to Jerry. There had been some idea and some thought that Arrigo might pitch today because you like to work left-handers in this ballpark. But Arrigo has been used so sparingly that West simply did not feel his arm would be strong enough. He pitched only 6 innings all during spring training and had worked only 7 innings this season. Outside and high, ball 4, and Davenport walks. That brings up Willie Mccovey. Horace Stoneham gave a dinner last night in honor of the greats of the San Francisco area who were here yesterday to pay tribute to Lefty O'Doul. Quite a baseball gathering last night, and one of the things they were talking about was the home run Mccovey hit yesterday. Ball must have traveled 500 feet. Big left-hand hitter. It's a ground ball toward the hole. It's going through for a base hit to right. Around second is Davenport. He's on his way to third. No play for Davenport. And the Giants have runners on first and third. Ball was not hit hard, but it was well placed into the hole on the right side of the infield. Giants with runners on first and third. One man out, and the cleanup batter, Jim Rayhardt, coming up. Hart batting .326. Has hit 9 home runs and driven 20 runs in. He had 2 home runs in the Friday night game. Let's have the infield now, hoping for a shot at the double play. The outfield is shaded around toward left. Now Bedard working off the stretch. The pitch to Jim Rayhardt, a ground ball foul back toward the visiting dugout. Mets will spend the night in San Francisco. They will fly tomorrow to Houston. It'll be the first experience for the New York Mets playing on the synthetic infield. Most of the talk about the difficulties encountered in playing on the synthetic grass in Houston, most of that talk has completely died out. Next pitch on the way. Good stop by Johnny Stevenson. It was down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jim Hart, right-hand hitter, stands well back from the plate. Let's have their outfield swung around toward left. Leon Jones moving over toward the alley in left center. McMillan and Hunt talk back and forth. The pitch, a ground ball to shortstop. McMillan to Hunt. Now there's one. The ball is dropped. Hunt drops the ball, and a run is in. Hunt dropped the ball as he took it out of his glove. Mccovey is out on the force play, but the Mets lose a sure double play that would have gotten them out of the inning. So Hart reaches on the fielder's choice, and since they make the play at second, there's no error. Davenport scores, but that was a cinch double play. Ron was very concerned about whether he'd be able to throw the ball out here today because he was hit just above the right elbow on the back of his arm by Bob Pretty with a fastball yesterday, and it was really puffed up. He was also hit by Gaylord Perry in the Friday night game. Curve outside and low to Cap Peterson. 1 ball and no strikes. Jim Hart picks up a run batted in. Giants lead 1-0. right-handed hitting Cap Peterson uses an overly closed batting stance. Stewart holds against the runner. Now the pitch by Bernard. Low and outside. Larry's main pitching forte is his sinker. Many times he can escape jams because he does make the hitters hit that ball on the ground, and it gives the infield a shot at that double play. So he made Jim Hart do exactly what he wanted him to do, but unfortunately the ball was dropped at second base. Now once again, Larry has his sign. He's behind on the hitter 2-0. Ball's behind 3-0 as the pitch breaks outside. Breeze very light at the moment. It's 12:20 here in San Francisco. It's usually around 2:30 to 3 o'clock that the breeze starts to freshen up. 3-0 delivery. Fastball down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1 on Cap Peterson. They go to the ninth inning at Yankee Stadium with the New York Yankees leading the Minnesota Twins 5-3. Ramos has come on in relief of Mel Stottlemyre. Now Bernard eyes his runner. Delivers 3-1. And it's in there for a call strike, 3-2. So this time, Jim Rayhardt will be running on 3-2 to Cap Peterson with 2 men down. Jim Davenport reached on a walk with 1 man out. And the walk has proved to be costly. Davenport has scored. In the set position. Throws to first base to keep Jim Rayhardt close. Now Peterson cocks the bat. There goes Hart. The pitch, a ground ball to second base. Ron Hunt comes up with it, fires hard to first in time for the out. Ron had to put something on the throw because the ball was hit slowly. So the arm passed the test. He whipped that ball over there in good shape. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left on. At the end of 1, the Giants won, and the New York Mets, nothing. Ralph?
Well, if you're driving around the area by Shea Stadium, you can drop in there today and pick up your tickets for any of the future games the Mets have. They return home on the 30th of May to play against the Philadelphia Phillies in a big doubleheader. They play the Phillies the next day in a night game, a single-night game. Other ticket outlets are located in areas around New York. Grand Central Station at the foot of the 42nd Street and Vanderbilt Avenue ramp, open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 8:30 to 4. Pennsylvania Station and the Long Island Waiting Room also open weekdays from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 8:30 to 4. Macy's and the Walt Whitman Shopping Center in Huntington, Long Island open during the regular store hours. And in addition to that, reservations for box and reserve seats can be made at all Howard Co. stores during regular store hours and also at any branch of the Manufacturers Hanover Trust Company during the banking hours. Tickets can be obtained, too, by mail by writing Ticket Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. And don't forget to toss in an extra 25 cents to cover the mailing cost. Well, it's the top of the second in the first game of the doubleheader today. And once again, here's Bob Murphy.
Johnny Lewis will be hitting against Juan Maritel as we go to the top of the second. Crowd still coming in at Candlestick on this beautiful day. It's going to be a real good turnout. The Giants will probably pass 400,000 in home attendance with today's doubleheader, so they're off to a great start at the gate. Pitch is outside to Johnny Lewis, ball 1. Johnny hitting .230 with 1 home run and 11 runs batted in. Juan Maritel into his windup, that big high kick, and the pitch, a screwball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Maritel is a pleasure to watch. He has that classic high kick, great control, and the wide assortment of pitches. 2-0 delivery, a swing and a miss on a curveball. It's 2-1. Lifetime against the Dodgers, Maritel has won 18 and lost 8. The 2-1 delivery, a swing and a miss on another breaking pitch. It's 2-2. Juan will throw curveballs and sliders. Again, a good screwball to the left-hand hitters. And a good fastball. 2-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it, a foul ball back toward the Giant dugout. No play. Dugouts at Candlestick Park are ground level. So the catchers, in pursuit of a foul ball, do not have to fear of falling into a dugout. A lot of area and foul territory in this ballpark, which can really help a pitcher out. The 2-2 pitch, a towering pop-up. Third baseman Jim Hart coming down the line toward home is under it waiting. And he has it for the out. One away, nobody on. This looks like a good time to light up a cool for the most refreshing taste in smoking today. Cool Filter King. The distinguished banker from Glendale, California, Mr. Charles Dillon Stingle, seated right behind the Mets dugout. Here's the pitch on the way. It's outside and high, ball 1. Broke Casey's heart, but he had to miss the baseball powwow last night because he's here in 2 capacities, not only in baseball, but also attending a bankers convention. Over the outside corner to Eddie Cranepool, 1 ball, 1 strike. And the bankers were having a powwow last night, and since he sits on the board of the Valley National Bank, he had to be there, so he had to miss the baseball gathering. The 1-1 pitch. Foul pop-up, and it's playable for Tom Haller. He turns around, walks back about 3 steps, and takes it for the out. Big Jim Maloney won another ball game for Cincinnati last night. The Reds, after a horrible start, are fighting their way right back into it. They're now only 5.5 games out, and they're a game over 500. At one time, they were 9 games under. And they're winning again today. Now Chuck Hiller is the batter, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. The Reds lead St. Louis 1-0 on a home run by Veda Pinson at the end of 2.5 innings. Bob Gibson and Jim O'Toole are the pitchers. Fastball at the letters for a call strike. Hiller asking umpire Mel Steiner about it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chuck batting .381. A 1-1 pitch by Maritel. A fly ball hit the short right field. Ollie Brown coming in. He's under it. Makes the catch. An overpowering inning by Maritel. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. At the end of an inning and a half, the Giants won. The New York Mets nothing.
Just Jazz. However you enjoy your kicks and jazz, we feel certain that you'll get your fill on the weekly program Just Jazz, heard over WGY. The program is heard usually on Tuesdays from 8 to 11 in the evening. But during the Mets baseball season, the show is heard on other nights of the week. In any case, Just Jazz is heard one night each week. Suggestion: send your name and address to Just Jazz Schedule, care of WGY in Schenectady, New York. And by return mail, you'll have the listings of each of the Just Jazz programs throughout the summer. This is Randy English. Be advised, it's cool, it swings, it's for you, and it's Just Jazz here at 8:10 on your radio dial. Over WGY in Schenectady.
is up against Larry Bernard in the last half of the second. Next week, the Mets have 2 games against the Astros in Houston, Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Then they return to the West Coast, going to Los Angeles for a series next weekend against the Dodgers. They'll be winding up the road trip 1 week from today against the Dodgers, flying right home for the Memorial Day doubleheader against Philadelphia at Shea Stadium. Long, foul fly hit down the right field line, no play. Phillies and the Mets will be doing the same thing. The Mets will be flying home from Los Angeles. The Phillies will be flying to New York from San Francisco. So they'll be operating on about the same amount of sleep when they play that Memorial Day doubleheader. Now Haller lays off. It's outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The right fielder, Ollie Brown, is the on-deck hitter. Tom Haller batting .250 with 4 home runs and 18 runs batted in. He had him tied up, but it was low. 2 balls and a strike. Giants have 4 hitters in double figures in runs batted in. Haller has 18. Jim Rayhardt 21. Willie Mccovey 22, and Willie Mays 24. Outside and low on the sinker, ball 3, and Larry goes behind on the hitter, 3-1. Now Larry Bernard checking with Johnny Stevenson. 3-1 the count on Tom Haller, the first batter up in the last half of the second. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball. It's 3-2. Washington 6. The California Angels 1. They go to the 8th inning. Joe Adcock has just homered in the 8th inning, so it's 6-2 Washington. Cleveland 2 and the White Sox 2 at the end of 3 innings. 9th inning at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees 5 and the Twins 3. Foul ball hit back into the crowd, no play. Detroit leading the Orioles 3-0 after 6.5 behind Mickey Lolich. Mo Grabowski has replaced Frank Bertagna in the 7th. And on a home run by Dalton Jones off Ralph Terry, the Red Sox have tied up the A's. That game is 1-1 going to the 7th inning. Wilson's last time out, he hit a home run in the 10th inning to win his own ball game against Baltimore. 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Second walk by Bernard. Larry walking the leadoff batter. Brings up Ollie Brown, the right fielder. Brown is a right-hand hitter who has good power. And the Mets play him to pull as they swing the outfield around to left. The infield at double play depth. Ground ball hit down to third, fielded by Hiller. He throws across the diamond to first in time for the out. Chuck took a look. The ball had been slowly hit. He did not feel he could throw Tom Haller out at second, so he took the play at first base. One out and one on, and we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WGY in Schenectady, New York.
Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. We're in the last of the second at Candlestick. The Giants in front, 1-0. Al Lanier is the batter against Larry Bernard. And the pitch is over on the outside corner, strike 1. Lanier batting .212. Juan Juan Maritel has come out and is kneeling in the on-deck circle. Outside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. First game is over at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees have knocked off the Minnesota Twins 5-3. New York had 5 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Minnesota 3 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Stottlemyre winning his 4th ball game, Ramos in the 9th. Mudcat Grant was the loser. Jake Gibbs homered in the 3rd, and Joe Pepitone a 2-run homer in the 7th. Slow grounder, foul off to the left, no play. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Final score, Yankees 5 and the Twins 3. Tom Haller is on second base, 1 man out. Giants picked up a tainted run in the opening inning. Larry working very deliberately. Looking in now to get his sign from Johnny Stevenson. And he takes so much time in reading that Hal Lanier steps out. This is going to be very close to a capacity crowd today. Now the pitch on the way. A slow ground ball down the first base line. Bernard picks it up, throws to first in time. Hiller races down the line to cover the plate, and Haller moves over to third. Mighty close play at first base. Bernard picked the ball up, fired hard to Dick Stewart just in time. Stevenson had gone down the line trying to get to that squibbler. So there was no one covering the plate, but Hiller very alertly raced home. And Haller, after taking a long turn, held up. And a big hand for Juan Maritel. Boy, as a hitter, Maritel has done all right this year. He has 10 hits and 28 times at bat. He's hitting .357. Now some pitchers go all year without getting 10 hits.
Well, Juan is a good competitor and has been a good hitter all through his major league career. You have to be very careful with him and work hard on him.
That's with the infield back, 2 men down. Juan Maritel, right-hand hitter waiting. And he takes the fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Tom Haller is on third. He reached on a walk. Now the pitch on the way. Line drive. Base hit to left center. It'll drive home a run. The ball is rolling all the way back toward the fence. Maritel is happy with the single. As the ball is run down by Craneville before it can reach the fence. So Maritel delivers the run with a hard hit single in the left center field. He does it all. Giants lead 2-0. We're waiting for Maritel now to get his warm-up jacket. Don Landrum, the leadoff batter, hitting for the second time. He was thrown out by Roy McMillan in the first inning. So Larry Bernard has walked 2 men, 1 in each of the first 2 innings, and both have come around to score. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Now Larry in the set position. Delivers low and inside, and that was a good save by Johnny Stevenson. He had to move off to his right to pick the ball out of the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jack Fisher and Robin Roberts will probably be the pitchers Tuesday night in the Astrodome. We'll be on the air with the 2 games in Houston at 9:25 p.m. New York time. A line shot in the air to left field. Cranepool coming in, and he makes a shoestring catch to retire the side. Picked Picked off just at the last instant by Eddie Cranepool on a good grab. That was a hard-hit line drive by Don Landrum. Side retired, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. 2 innings complete. The Giants 2 and the New York Mets nothing. July the 30th is the date for the Old-Timers Day at Shea Stadium this year. The guest of honor will be Casey Stengel. It'll be Casey's birthday. And in Casey's honor, that classic All-Star game of 1950 will be reenacted. A 14-inning All-Star game that was won on a home run by Red Shandies. Game that was tied up by our own Ralph Kiner in the 9th inning. Ralph, if memory serves me, that was a game that Ted Williams will never forget.
Yes, I put him out of the lineup for about 2 months when he caught a line drive that I hit against the scoreboard and broke his elbow. He actually played after that in the ball game and came up to bat.
He was out of action for a long time after that. Leo DeRocher will be in town with the Chicago Cubs. So Leo will be the manager of the National League All-Stars in the reenactment, and Casey will be managing the American League All-Stars. The All-Stars were many and superb that year in 1950. So we hope you'll make your plans to be with us on Old Timers Day at Shea Stadium on Casey's birthday, July the 30th. Right now we go to the 3rd inning, Giants 2. New York Mets nothing, and to follow the action, here's Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Bob, and hi there, everyone. Roy McMillan, the leadoff for the Mets. I was talking with Hank Sauer down before the ball game, and Hank was in that 1950 All-Star game. And if you recall, there was a big rhubarb in Chicago about the fact that the manager of the National League, Bert Schotten, did not want to play Hank Sauer, although he was voted in by the fans as the #1 outfielder. First pitch is hit down to short. Jim Davenport comes up with the ball and throws the first base to the out. So Roy McMillan grounding the first pitch, and the Giants getting their first out here in the top of the 3rd. Giants leading by a score of 2-0, and Larry Bernard is now the batter. Roy, before grounding out, batting 154. Larry Bernard has been a bat 1 time, has no hit. Then he takes the first pitch from Marichal. It's low and away, ball 1. Larry, at one time a catcher when he was attending high school. Pitch back to him is in, and it's called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mets have had 1 base hit. Cleon Jones lined a single in the left center field in the 1st inning. Marichal has struck out 1, walked none. He comes back with a high kick and misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Juan is a dealer from any position. He goes all the way around the cycle, off the top, down sidearm, in between. Uses a high leg kick most of the time. His next delivery without the kick is hit down to short again. Another slow ground ball picked up by Davenport, and Larry Bernard, hustling down the line, is out by about a stride. 2 men away here in the top of the 3rd. The Giants leading by a score of 2-0. And the Mets now will have Ron Hunt coming up. The Giants got Ron out for the first time in the series when they got him on a strikeout his first time up. Ron had reached every other time that he had been at bat in the first 2 ball games. Been on base 9 consecutive times against the Giants. Ron now batting .344. He has 2 home runs and 12 runs batted in. 34 base hits. He's been at bat 99 times, so if he gets an official AB, he'll have his 100th time at bat. And a line drive hit to left field, a base hit. So Ron continues against the Giants, picking up another base hit. And the Mets now have their second hit with 2 men out here in the top of the 3rd, and the batter coming up, Cleon Jones, who got there first. Ron now with 15 base hits in 22 times up against the Giants this year. And he has been on base 18 times of his last 21 times against the Giants. Really an amazing streak, which doesn't happen to a ball player too often. And I'm sure it doesn't happen against the Giants too often. Strong ball club in the National League. They lead by 2.5 games. First pitch to Cleon Jones is outside, a breaking pitch. Jones faking a bunt. It's ball one. On deck batter is Johnny Stevenson, a left-hander. Mets have the tying run at the plate with 2 men out here in the top of the third. Maritel backing off the pitching rubber, and Ron Hunt backs up toward first base. Ron has 3 stolen bases this year. The leading stolen base artist on the Mets is Cleon Jones. He has 6. Pitch back is a curve again, and again it's blowing away, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Cleon Jones batting .305 with 2 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Two balls, no strikes. Outfield shaded toward right field against the right-hand batter. Now Maritel will look over his left shoulder at first base in the set position. And his pitch to the plate is a curveball that's in there for a called strike. High curveball breaking over the inside part of the plate. Maritel is the type of pitcher that will throw any pitch at any time. Doesn't make a bit of difference what the count might be. He has fine control, although he is not 10-point sharp. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sidearm fastball this time and fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maritel so far in 72 innings of pitching has struck out 46 batters, and he's walked only 6. But he is not what you would call a surveyor on the mound. He does not put the ball exactly where he'd like to put it. It's close, but not like the others. Ron goes, the pitch is swung on and missed, and it's strike 3. Hunt slides into second base to no avail as the Giants on the strikeout retire the side. Cleon Jones going down. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left on base, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Giants 2, the Mets nothing. What do Mexican street musicians do when they get thirsty? Listen and you'll find out.
You can hear this song in the streets of Ciudad Madero in Mexico. And when the strolling musicians raise a thirst, they'll stop for something cool and refreshing, like Cerveza Corona, the beer numero uno in Ciudad Madero. You can find the same song and the same thirst north of the border. And in New York City, too, the musicians often call for numero uno, Rheingold Extra Dry. In fact, in New York City, where you can hear more kinds of music than anywhere else in the world, more people buy Rheingold than any other beer. How come? Maybe it's our natural carbonation. Well, whatever it is, we must be doing something right.
Bottom half of the third, the Giants coming up for the third time. In the first 2 innings, they scored a single run in each inning. In the first, they got a run on a missed double play by the Mets when the ball was dropped at second base. And in the second inning, they got a run on a walk to Tom Haller and a single by Juan Maritel. Now it's going to be Jim Davenport, the leadoff against Larry Bernard, who has given up the 2 runs, and he has allowed 2 hits. The first pitch is looped in the center, could drop in. Going back to second baseman Rayhardt, coming in, Cleon Jones, it drops in. Picked up in the first hop by Cleon Jones as he was charging in from fairly deep center field, and Jim Davenport loops a single in to lead off here in the bottom half of the third. Jim had walked his first time up and scored a run. And it brings up Willie Mccovey, who singled to right field on the very first pitch that he saw in the game. Willie with his base hit now batting .345. Davenport before his base hit, taking a .235 average to the plate. Bernard in a set position. The first pitch to Mccovey is called a strike over the outside corner. First baseman Dick Stewart for the Mets playing behind the runner, playing fairly deep behind the runner, about 4 steps back. Davenport is not a slow man, but with Mccovey hitting, Mets are figuring to use some defensive room to try and keep Mccovey from coming up with a base hit on the right side. A changeup way outside and high. Bernard's missing for ball 1. Even counted 1-1. Let's play Mccovey as a pull hitter. He pulled one in yesterday's ball game about 500 feet. Mets have won one of the series. The Giants have had one win. And there are 2 games here today. Second game, we'll see Jack Hamilton pitching for the Mets. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Bernard's backing off the mound. Hamilton will be opposed by Ray Sadecki. Now the pitch. It's hit foul down in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Giants take on the Pittsburgh Pirates here Tuesday. They're playing in Los Angeles today. And the Mets go to Houston, as Bob Murphy told you, for a night game on Tuesday night. Game will come your way in New York at 9:25. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No one out, bottom half of the third. The Giants lead 2-0. They have a runner at first. And the pitch to Mccovey is swung on and fouled down again in the dirt. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The alleys here in the ballpark, 375 in right field, 365 in left field, 410 straight away, and 335 down the right field and left field line. Wind blowing out to right field as the prevailing wind. Right now, very, very little wind at all, if any. Now, once again, Bernard will try at 1 ball and 2 strikes. His pitch swung on him. He struck him out. Barry getting his first strikeout and his first out here in the third. It brings up Jim Rayhardt. Hart grounded down to short his first time up with Jim Davenport on at third base with 1 out. Millen came up with the ball. They had a chance for 2. He threw over to second base, and Ron Hunt, in trying to hurry the throw, dropped the ball. He picked it up and got on the bag in time for the 4th play on Mccovey, who was on at first. But he could not complete the double play, and the Giants scored their first run. Pitch to the plate is hit deep to left. It is gone. Ball game, his 8th tonight, coming up with his 10th home run here to drive in Jim Davenport, and the Giants lead it by a score of 4-0. Davenport now has hit 4 home runs against the Mets this year. That brings up the left fielder, Cap Peterson, and it also brings up some action in the bullpen for the Mets. Bill Heffler warming up. Home run by Jim Rayhardt over the 365 mark in left center field. The first pitch to Cap Peterson is low. It's ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Giants with Juan Maritel on the mound, leading by a score of 4-0. 1 man out. We're in the bottom half of the third. Pitch back, low again. A breaking pitch. It's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Peterson grounded out to second his first time up in this game. Right-hand batter hitting 174. Now the right-hander Bernard back again, and the pitch is fouled off. Back of home plate out of play. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. balls, one strike. Bernard taking the signs from Johnny Stevenson. Outfield shallow in center, straight away and fairly deep in right and left. And at 2-1, the delivery to the plate is hit down the right field line in foul territory, out of play. Giants have equal runs and hits. They lead 4-0. Mets have 2 base hits in the game off Maritel. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bernard now working very slowly. Willie Mays not playing in this game. Ground ball to third. A tough chance if it's fair. It goes foul. Willie being rested. And Don Landrum playing in center field. And Jim Rayhardt picking up the slack with a 2-run home run to give the Giants the lead at 4-0. Hart is sort of a you don't notice him type of ball player, but he has had some outstanding success with the Giants. Last year he had 23 home runs and drove in 96 runs while batting .299. In '64 he hit 31 home runs and batted .286. That was his first full season. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's lined in the center. A tough catch for Cleon Jones. He can't get to it. He hauls it in on one hop and stops Cap Peterson at first base. So the Giants have a base hit and a runner at first base with 1 out here in the bottom half of the third, and the batter coming up, left-hand hitting Tom Haller. Final score in the American League. The Senators have won their 5th in a row, defeating California 6-2. The winning pitcher was Pete Rayhardt with help from Klein in the 6th inning. Here comes Wes Westermount. He's already made up his mind. There goes the sign out before he gets to the foul line that he wants the left-hander, Bill Hepler, in the game. So that's going to be all for Larry Bernard. Larry making his first start of the season, going out trailing by a score of 4-0. He worked 2 1/3 innings, and during the time he was in, he gave up 5 hits. He struck out 1 batter and walked 2, and the 2 walks cost him 2 runs. Larry going out, and left-hander Bill Hepler coming in. And while he comes in, let's check the scores with Bob Murphy.
In the National League, the Braves lead Chicago 4-0 after 3 innings in the first game of a double bill at Atlanta. It's Ellsworth against the Braves' Wade Blasting game. Here are the warm-ups for the single encounter at Dodger Stadium. For the Pirates, Bob Veal. For the Dodgers, Claude Osteen. The St. Louis Cardinals got a run in the 4th inning to tie Cincinnati. The Cardinals won and the Reds won at the end of 4. Gibson against O'Toole. A home run by Veda Pinson. Philadelphia playing at Houston. Jim Bunning against Barry Latman. And the Phillies scored a run in the opening inning. In the American League, Washington has just defeated California 6-2 in the first game of a doubleheader. Pete Rickard, the winner, Klein in the 6th, Fred Newman the loser. A game in which the Angels hit 2 home runs but lost the game. Rick Reichert hit his 11th, and Joe Adcock homered in the 8th, nobody on. Cleveland 2, the Chicago White Sox 2 after 4.5. Sonny Siebert pitching for Cleveland, and Joe Horland relieved Gary Peters in the 1st inning for the White Sox. The Yankees won the first game of a doubleheader at the Yankee Stadium 5-3 as Mel Stottlemyre won his 4th, Ramos in the 9th. Mudcat Grant was the loser. And for the Yankees, Jake Gibbs homered in the 3rd, nobody on. And in the 7th inning, Joe Pepitone hit a 2-run homer. In the second game, it'll be Dave Merritt against Fritz Peterson. Second game not yet underway. Detroit 3, Baltimore 2 after 7.5. Mickey Lolich pitching for the Tigers. And Hank Bauer has had to call on Frank Bertagna, Mo Drabowski, and Eddie Watt. The Red Sox with a run in the 5th inning on a homer by Dalton Jones tied the A's. And now they have taken the lead by scoring 3 in the 7th. So it's the Red Sox 4, Kansas City 1 at the end of 7, with Earl Wilson pitching for Boston and Ralph Terry for the Kansas City A's. So that is the complete rundown on scores of other ball games. Bill Hepler is warmed up and ready, and to follow the action, once again, Ralph Kiner.
Bill Hepler, a left-hander in the game for the Mets, making his 3rd Major League appearance. His first appearance, his first man walked on 4 pitches. That was Eddie Matthews for the Braves. He worked 1 inning in that ball game, gave up 1 hit, allowed no run. His second appearance was in pitching to Johnny Edwards of the Cincinnati Reds. He came in and got a 1-2-3 double play with the bases loaded. Now making his 3rd. And his first pitch to Tom Haller, a left-hand batter, is looked at for a called strike. Bill with no record, no wins and no losses. And he has worked officially 1 2/3 innings in the Major Leagues. Young left-hand pitcher. On at first base, Cap Peterson. He's not being held on as Dick Stewart plays behind the runner. Giants lead 4-0. And now Hepler back again, and this time a curveball set slowly down to second. Ron Hunt charges, makes the tag in the runner there, throws to first base, and he gets the double play. So Hepler, in pitching to 2 batters, his last 2 in the major leagues, has turned in 4 men out, picking up 2 double plays. That retires the side. The Giants picking up 2 runs on 2, make it 3 hits. No errors and no one left on base. And the score at the end of 3, the Giants 4, the Mets nothing.
That's Bugles and Drums. You'll hear that each evening Monday through Friday at 5:45 on WGY when I bring you Spotlight on Sports, the only full 15-minute radio program in the area devoted exclusively to sports news of the day. This is Bill Carpenter inviting you to hear Sports Spotlight each day and to tune in Mondays and Thursdays at 5 minutes past 7 p.m. for 2 new programs of auto racing news, Northeast Racing Roundup on Mondays and Speedway Highlights on Thursdays. And these programs are only part of WGY's extensive and intensive coverage of sports. Monday through Friday at 6:15, horse racing fans will like Howard Tupper's Track Talk. Golf enthusiasts will enjoy Bill Edwardson's Golf Talk on Thursdays at 6:35 p.m. with questions from golfers and answers from pros. All this, plus Mets baseball and national sports coverage from NBC on WGY, your reliable station for sports in 26 counties of New York and New England.
It's the top of the 4th, and right now we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WGY 810 on your dial in Schenectady, New York.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Juan Maritel starting off with his first pitch here in the top of the 4th. He leads 4-0, and it's a high curve for ball 1. The batter for the Mets is Johnny Stevenson. He'll be followed by Dick Stewart and then Johnny Lewis. Stevenson lined to right field his first time up on a change of pace. And he's batting at .407. He's 9 for 17 against the Giants this year. Pitch back is a curve, and it's swung on a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 delivery by Maritel is hit off the end of the bat, back to the mound. Maritel falls down and fielding the ball as he moves to his left. Has plenty of time, and he gets up. The one knee throws to first base to pick up Stevenson. The ball was not hit hard. It could have been fielded fairly easily by the second baseman, but Maritel elected to head it off and made the play. Now with 1 away in the 4th, it'll bring up Dick Stewart. Dick dribbled 1 out in front of the plate his first time up and was thrown out by Tom Haller. Dick batting .206 with 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. Giants lead 4-0. They scored a run in the first, 2 runs in the third, and in between a run in the second. Maritel now set to go, goes into the windup, and his first pitch to Stewart is grounded right over the top of the mound. Back of the mound, in his second base position, is Hal Lanier. He picks it up, makes the play to first base for the second out here in the top of the 4th. And that brings up Johnny Lewis. Johnny hit a towering pop fly to third base his first time up. His average at .227. The 2 hits the Mets have in the ball game go to Cleon Jones and Ron Hunt. Jones got his in the first, Ron got his in the third. And the first pitch to the left-hand batter swung on, the bat out of the hand of Johnny Lewis and flying over the top of Yogi Berra's head about 120 feet away. John had a big swing at a change curve and was way out in front, let go of the bat, and it turned on down, twirling over the head of Yogi Berra. Picked up by the first base umpire, Al Boddick, and returned by the Giant bat boy. Now Maritel back to work. And his 1 strike delivery is a curveball line to second base. Lanier takes it in the air. That retires the side. So A 1-2-3 inning for Maritel here in the fourth, and the score at the end of 3.5. The Giants 4, the Mets nothing. Bottom half of the fourth, the Giants coming up, and they'll be hitting against Bill Hepler, who relieved the starting pitcher, Larry Menard. Giants scored a run in the first, added one more in the second, and got two on a two-run home run by Jim Rayhardt. In the third, Bill Hepler came in to stop the Giants as he pitched to one batter, Tom Holler, and got a double play. Bill pitched at Geneva last year, won 13 and lost 10 in 28 ball games. He struck out 219 batters in 208 innings, a good record, had 14 complete games. He was acquired from the Senators in the draft for $8,000 by the Mets. He's 20 years old, lives in Covington, Virginia. 6 foot tall, 160 pounds. And he'll be pitching to Ollie Brown as his first man here in the fourth. Brown, a right-hand batter. And the first pitch by Hepler, a hard swing for strike one. Brown just behind the fastball down around the knees. Ollie's batting .207. He has 2 home runs and 9 runs batted in. In this ball game, he's been at bat one time, and he grounded out to third. He'll be followed by Hal Lanier and then the pitcher, Juan Maritel. Hepler takes an awful lot of time before going into the windup. And the left-hander comes back again with a fastball. It's fouled off out of play. So Hepler in front with the count at 2 strikes. In the National League, at the end of 3.5 innings, Atlanta 4, the Cubs 1. Ellsworth against Blassingame in that one. That's the first of 2. Starting pitchers, Pittsburgh at Los Angeles. Bob Veal going for the Pirates against Claude Osteen. At the end of 5, the Cardinals 2, Cincinnati 1. Cardinals taking the lead on a home run by Orlando Cepeda, his 7th this year. Benson had a home run for Cincinnati in the first. It's Gibson and O'Toole. Next pitch, a high change that almost goes over the head of Johnny Stevenson. He makes the catch. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There have been 2 Grand Slam home runs hit in the National League this year, and Orlando Cepeda has 1. The other one, Willie Mccovey. And, of course, Mccovey, the man who put Cepeda on the Cardinals. For Ray Sadecki, he's going to pitch the second game today. Now, again, a high outside pitch. It's ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sadecki will be opposed by Jack Hamilton. They have met 2 previous times. Hamilton won the first one on an 8-0 one-hit game. The one hit going to Ray Sadecki on a bunt in the third. But this game in the hands of Juan Maritel as the Giants lead 4-0. Two balls, 2 strikes. Hepler tries again. And the pitch is high, this time high inside, ball 3. So Hepler, after getting 2 quick strikes, now going all the way down the line, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. At the end of 1.5 innings, the Phillies won, Houston nothing. Jim Bunning against Barry Laffman. Let's take on Houston Tuesday night. Game time in New York will be at 9:25. 3-2 pitch, high and away, ball 4. So Hepler with 4 in a row after coming up with 2 strikes, walking Ollie Brown. Lead batter on at first base with the Giants leading 4-0, and the batter coming up is Hal Lanier. Larry Bernard made a good play on Lanier in the second inning when he was in the ball game to retire him on a slow dribbler out toward the pitcher's mound. That's the 3rd walk in the game for the Giants. The first 2 scored. Mets are not looking for the bunt. And the pitch is hit right through the middle. Coming over behind second is Roy McMillan. He tags the bag as he scoots on across. A fine play, and then the throw to first base is in time to complete the double play. Second double play in the game for the Mets. Roy fielded that ball just in back of second base. And as he went across, he just sort of slid his back foot across the bag and threw on to first.
Well, Bill Hepler's got a problem. The only way he knows how to get hitters out is 2 at a time.
Well, there's no doubt about it. His last 6 outs have been on double play. In pitching to 3 batters. That's a pretty good habit to get into. That brings up Juan Maritel, who singled in a run in the second. Juan with a line drive to left field, coming up with a base hit. It was his 11th base hit and 29 times up, and his average now is .379. And the first pitch is a changeup outside. It's ball 1. Giants lead 4-0 with 2 men out in the bottom half of the 4th. Pitch is swung on a miss. It's strike 1. A hard swing by Maritel. He was going for the down. One ball, 1 strike. Senators won their 5th in a row as they defeated California in the first game of their doubleheader today, 6-2. Pete Rickert, the winning pitcher, with home runs from Joe Adcock, and also for the Angels, Rickert had a home run, but the other Rickert in this case. You should call him Rayhardt, shouldn't you? Swing and a miss. It's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball hits foul on the ground. Count stays in 1 ball and 2. Losing pitcher in that Angel game was Newman, the starting pitcher. Rayhardt for the Angels now has 11 home runs. At the end of 4.5, Cleveland 2, Chicago 2. Siebert against Horner now. Gary Peters taken out in the first. That's the first of 2. Yankees beat Minnesota 5-3 in the first game of their doubleheader. Winning pitcher Stottlemyre, losing pitcher Grant. A high pop-up on the first base side. Takes Stewart over to get under the ball, and he makes the catch, and that retires the side. So the Mets, for the first time in the ball game, put the Giants back without a run. And the score, after no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base, the Giants 4, the Mets nothing. And once again, here's Bob Murphy.
Next Sunday, the Mets will be winding up this 9-game road trip with a single day game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And following the Sunday game with the Dodgers, 1 week from today, the Mets fly back to New York. And they have the holiday doubleheader, Memorial Day twin bill against the Philadelphia Phillies, a week from tomorrow, the 30th of May. And that holiday doubleheader will be the first of 5 doubleheaders the Mets will play on a 19-game homestand. The Mets will be home 15 days and played 19 ball games. The Dodgers will be coming to New York on the next homestand. They're in for a weekend series, Friday night, June 3rd, Saturday the 4th, and a Sunday doubleheader on the 5th. The Braves will be in for 3 midweek night ball games, the 7th, 8th, and 9th of June. The Cincinnati Reds come in for a night game, a twilight doubleheader, and a Sunday afternoon game on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of June. A twilighter with the Cardinals on Monday, the 13th, and then a day game on the 14th to wind up a 19-game homestand. On the homestand, a doubleheader against Philadelphia, a doubleheader with the Dodgers, a doubleheader with Cincinnati, and a doubleheader with St. Louis. So it's 19 games in 15 days, 4 doubleheaders on that next homestand. So make your plans now for all the fun of baseball at Shea Stadium. Eddie Kranepool hits a high fly to short right center. Coming in is Ollie Brown. He's waved off by Don Landrum, and Landrum, the center fielder, makes the grab. One out, nobody on. Chuck Hiller batting for the second time. Chuck hit the ball well his first time up, a line drive to right field, and Ollie Brown caught running over toward the line. Maritel has given up 2 hits. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's a high pop fly on the left side of the diamond. On the skin part of the diamond, under it waiting is Jim Davenport. He has 2 up and 2 set aside by Maritel. It'll bring up Roy McMillan. Beautiful day and a big crowd gathered here at Candlestick. I would imagine the crowd is in the neighborhood of 40,000. Sitting capacity at Candlestick Park, about 44,000. Mack is 0 for 1. He grounded out to short his only time up. And it's a breaking ball on the outside corner. Strike one call. Juan Maritel shooting for his 8th win of the season. He has not been beaten. Sidearm fastball misses the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maritel has given up less than 1 earned run per 9 innings. The 1-1 pitch. Foul ball back into the screen. The Rheingold Chug-a-Mug holds 12 ounces of Rheingold Extra Dry, and it has a pull tab so you don't need an opener. You know, it's about the handiest way there is of quenching your thirst. You'll find Chug-a-Mug 6-packs at your local store. Maritel takes his sign now from Tom Haller. The Giants lead 4-0. We're in the top of the 5th inning. A drive hit hard toward right field. Ollie Brown moving in, makes the catch. That one was hit right on the button by McMillan. A line drive, and Brown, the right fielder, galloped right straight in about 10 strides and picked it off on the run. Mets are out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. So we've come halfway of the opening game at the end of 4.5. The Giants 4 and the New York Mets nothing. Maybe you're familiar with the Japanese tea ceremony, but tea is not the only thing you can pour ceremonially. Listen.
This gentle music from Japan seems to suggest sake in little porcelain cups, or the graceful ritual of the tea ceremony. But for many Japanese Americans, this song lends itself to the pleasant ritual of the beer ceremony. And the beer is often Rheingold Extra Dry. In fact, in New York City, where there are more ceremonies and celebrations than anywhere else in the world, more people drink Rheingold than any other beer. Why? Perhaps because of our Austrian yeast. Anyway, we must be doing something right.
Last of the 5th inning. Center fielder Don Landrum, batting leadoff for the Giants in the opener of this doubleheader, will be up first. Landrum has bounced out to short and lined the ball hard to left field and was retired. Giants 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. New York, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. 20-year-old Bill Hepler is on in relief for the New York Mets. Bill relieved starter Larry Benarth in the 3rd inning with 1 man out. Hepler into his windup. The first pitch thrown to Landrum is a curve on the inside corner for a call strike. The single game at Baltimore is over. The Tigers win it 3-2. Mickey Lolich, the winner, with Sherry and Padres in the 9th inning, and Frank Bertagna, the loser. So Bob Swift had to make a number of moves in the 9th inning to stave off the Orioles. Off the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. There are 3 final scores now posted in the American League. Washington beat California in the opener 6-2. The Yankees won their opener at the stadium from Minnesota 5-3. And Detroit has won a single game from Baltimore 3-2. 1 ball, 1 strike on Don Landrum. The 1-1 delivery. Ground ball hit down to first, fielded by Dick Stewart. He makes the play unassisted, retiring Landrum 1 man away. So Billy Hepler, with a good breaking ball, forced the hitter, Don Landrum, to hit the ball in the dirt. Jim Davenport reached on a walk and later scored in the 1st inning. He blooped the Texas Ligger for a base hit in the 3rd inning and later scored. He's been driven home both times by Jim Rayhardt. Hart has driven in 3 of the 4 Giant runs. Inside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. Now Billy Hepler has his sign from Johnny Stevenson. Veteran Jim Davenport, right-hand batter, bends from the waist. Looks it over, and it's outside. Ball 2. It's 2-0. Davenport, a great guy to have on a ball club. You can play him at second, short, or third, in any of those 3 places. He's going to play it and play it very well. Although he has not been hitting for a high average the last couple of years, he gets big hits. The 2-0 delivery. Fastball over for a strike. It's 2-1. Bleacher crowd enjoying an ideal day in San Francisco. It really pays off to start these doubleheaders at noon in this weather. The 2-1 pitch. Foul ball hit back upstairs and out of play. By starting early, they get away from that strong wind, and the crowd really enjoys it. Davenport hitting second, Willie Mccovey batting third, waiting on deck. Herman Franks resting Willie Mays in the first game of the doubleheader. Now Bill Hepler has his sign. The young left-hander delivers 2-2, and he's up high with a fastball, 3-2. This is only the second year in Pro Ball for Bill Hepler. The Mets claimed Billy Hepler in the draft last winter. He had been signed by Washington and pitched last year in the New York Penn League. Now the pitch on the way. Foul ball wafted back up into the air toward the upper deck and out of play. Ray Sadecki is the Giant pitcher in the second game today. Mets have done pretty well against Ray Sadecki, and Wes Western wanted to have Jack Hamilton against Sadecki. Your chances are not too great against Maritel, so he didn't want to put Hamilton against Maritel. 3-2 delivery, a high pop-up down the right field line. Ron Hunt racing over, reaches the line, and makes the catch in fair territory. He was standing right on the line when he caught it. Now there are 2 outs, nobody on, and Willie Mccovey comes up. Mccovey hitting .337, 4 home runs, and 22 runs batted in. Mccovey singled to right field in the first inning to help build a run, and he was struck out by Larry Benarth in the third inning. Billy Hepler winds, down comes his curve, and it breaks right over the plate for a call strike. The single game at Fenway Park in Boston is now over. The Red Sox tied the game on a homer by Dalton Jones, then got 3 more in the 7th, and went on to beat Kansas City 5-1 on a 4-hitter by Earl Wilson. For Earl Wilson, his 4th victory. Ralph Terry was the loser. Swing and a miss. Billy Hepler with a 2-strike count on Willie Mccovey. Foul ball back toward our broadcasting booth and out of play. Mccovey trying to get out of the way, and he was hit by the pitch. Mccovey, trying to get away from an inside pitch, is nicked on the back of the left hand. It sounded like the ball also got part of the bat. Herman Frank's coming out of the Giant dugout to check with Mccovey. Mccovey hit on the back of the left hand with that pitch thrown by Bill Hepler. Herman now comes out to first base and is talking to Mccovey as Mccovey works the fingers on his left hand. And now Herman sends a sign over to the dugout. I believe he wants the Giant trainer to bring out the ethyl chloride to spray it to hold that swelling down. Tito Fuentes is playing catch down in the Giant bullpen. We're waiting now while care is being given to Willie Mccovey, who was hit on the back of the left hand with that last pitch thrown by Billy Hepler. Hepler throws in his warm-ups while Herman Franks talks this over with Mccovey. Ron Hunt was hit in the game Friday night by Gaylord Perry and then struck again yesterday by Bob Pretty. Ron has been red hot. And he really had to spend a lot of time in the training room today to get ready for this doubleheader. He took heat treatment on the back of his right arm and then took whirlpool treatment. We're set to go. Mccovey stays in the ball game, and the hitter is Jim Rayhardt. He hit a 2-run homer his last time up, his 10th home run of the year. Jim Hart now has 3 home runs in this series. Billy Hepler delivers a strike on the outside corner. Jim Hart has driven in 3 of the 4 Giant runs in this ball game and raised his total on the year to 23. So now he's only 1 RBI behind the Giant team leader, Willie Mays. Bill Hepler works off the stretch. Down comes his pitch, and the fastball is under the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bleachers have completely filled now. And this is going to be very, very close to a capacity crowd. Billy Hepler delivers to Jim Rayhardt inside and low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Bill Hepler signed his first pro contract with Washington. And he was inked to the contract by George McQuinn, former American League first baseman. He completed 14 out of 28 ball games in the minor leagues last year in his first year out. Today's game is the 3rd major league appearance for the young southpaw. Smash hit hard, a base hit to center by Jim Rayhardt. Mccovey around second is on his way to third. Leon Jones fires the ball into Hunt. And Jim Rayhardt has his 2nd hit and 3 times up. He ripped that one, a hard line drive to center field. That is the first base hit given up by Billy Hepler. It brings up Cap Peterson, the left fielder. Peterson singled to right center in the 3rd, following the 2-run homer by Jim Rayhardt. And that was the base hit that knocked Larry Benarth out of the box. Runners on 1st and 3rd. 2 men away, bottom half of the 5th inning. Giants 4, Mets nothing. Tom Haller is the on-deck batter. Infield, a couple of steps to left. And a curve is outside and high, ball 1. the newest member of the pitching staff, Jerry Arrigo, is now loosening up in the bullpen. He arrived in San Francisco last night about 9:30, so he is in uniform for the first time today. Fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes on Cap Peterson. Arrigo is wearing number 26. Arrigo was with the Minnesota Twins and then was traded to Cincinnati for Cesar Tovar. Last year, he divided his time between Cincinnati and San Diego. 25-year-old southpaw. Runners at first and third. The count 2-0 on Cap Peterson. The pitch by Hepler is in the dirt. Nice save by Johnny Stevenson. Now Hepler falls behind 3-0. Giants start the day with a 2.5-game lead in the National League. The ball club that has been coming on like a fire engine, the Cincinnati Reds. Billy Hepler behind 3-0. Delivers to the plate. A curve inside to load him up. Bases loaded. Tom Haller coming up, and right here we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WGY in Schenectady, New York.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner from Candlestick Park. Giants have the bases loaded, 2 men out. And left-handed batting catcher Tom Haller is up against Bill Hepler. And the pitch is inside, ball 1. Ollie Brown comes out on deck. Giants in front, 4-0. So this is an all-important moment for Bill Hepler and the New York Mets in this ball game. Hepler pitching very deliberately. Goes the pitching slab. Takes his stand now from Johnny Stevenson. The left-hander winds and pitches. Up high, ball 2. Willie Mccovey is on third, Jim Hart on second, and Cap Peterson on first, and now the count has gone to 2-0. Pitching coach Harvey Haddix is talking to Jerry Arrigo down in the bullpen. Jerry has been getting ready. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Tom Haller. A walk to Haller drives home a run. And now Hepler is working behind the hitter. Here's the 2-0 delivery. A ground ball hit toward the hole. Hunt to his glove side, comes up with it, throws to first, the side is out. Ron Hunt moving swiftly into the hole on the right side of the infield. He came up with that ground ball right on the rim of the outfield grass and fired to Stewart to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 left on. At the end of 5, the Giants 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. The New York Mets, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Mets will be back in Shea Stadium a week from tomorrow, May 30th, for the Memorial Day doubleheader against Philadelphia. On May 31st, the last day of the month, Jack Fisher will meet with the Fisher members of the fan club. There are 6 fan club dates in June. Now, after you've entered Shea Stadium, you can visit your favorite ball player in the fan club room, but you must obtain fan club tickets in advance. To do so, write to Met Fan Club, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. Or you may pick them up at any regular Met ticket outlet. The dates so far that have been announced in June: on June 1st, Dennis Rybant; on the 7th, Rob Gardner; and on the 9th, Gordon Richardson. The other June dates will be announced later. Choice box and reserve seat tickets are available to purchase when you ride in, but, and we repeat, fan club tickets must be ordered in advance, even if you already have the necessary baseball admission ticket. Herman Franks will rest Jim Davenport the remainder of this ball game. Tito Fuentes is now playing second, and Hal Lanier is playing short. Billy Murphy will bat for Bill Hepler as the game goes to the 6th inning with the Giants in front 4-0. Breaking ball by Maritel is over. Strike one called. So Billy Hepler turned in a very effective relief job. Maritel delivers, and Billy Murphy holds up on the swing. It's taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Billy's first major league base hit was a 3-run homer off Ray Sadecki at Shea Stadium. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ron Hunt waiting on deck, then Cleon Jones. The 1-2 pitch, fastball over, strike 3 call. Juan Maritel notching his 3rd strikeout. Maritel has now set down the last 8 straight batters. Mets have had 2 base runners. Jones singled in the 1st, and Ron Hunt singled in the 3rd. So Ron has 1 hit and 2 times up, and he now has raised his batting average to .350. Ron has raised his batting average 103 points in the last 10 days. He got hot in the Giants series at Shea Stadium and has stayed hot. Now the pitch on the way. A high fly ball hit to right field. Ollie Brown just walks over a couple of steps. He's under it, and he puts it away for the out. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 6th inning, it'll bring up Cleon Jones. Cleon singled to left center in the 1st inning and was struck out in the 3rd inning. Maritel, as usual, has not walked a man. Great thing about Juan Maritel and Sandy Koufax, not only do they have such magnificent stuff pitching, but they have superb control. They rarely walk anybody. Out of his windup, the pitch, a line drive into left field, and Cleon Jones has his 2nd hit off Maritel. 3rd hit of the ball game for the New York Mets. Cleon yanks the curveball on a line right over the shortstop's head in the left field. Johnny Stevenson was in the on-deck circle with his shin guards on with 2 men down, so we're waiting now for Johnny to come up to hit. I can hear somebody, Sandy, back on that upper deck yelling, "Let's go Mets." Johnny Stevenson stepping in against Juan Maritel. Juan has 6 complete games and 8 starts. Curve is fouled back toward the Giant dugout, no play. They have wonderful parking facilities for the Giant fans. The high kick and the pitch by Maritel. 1 ball, 1 strike. They were a little worried that today's crowd might be not quite up to par because of a transportation strike in the area, curtailing the bus activity. But it has had no effect. A swing and a miss by Stevenson, 1-2. Yogi Berra coaching in first, Whitey Herzog at third. Jerry Arrigo has finished warming up and is coming now into the dugout. He'll be pitching in the last of the sixth inning. A swing and a miss. He struck him out. Maritel struck out 2 in the sixth inning and now has 4 in the ballgame. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 5 1/2, the Giants 4 and the New York Mets nothing.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, you know, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? Let's go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama radio. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's
Left-hander Jerry Arrigo, newest member of the New York Mets, is on the mound now to make his pitching debut. 20-year-old Bill Hepler from Covington, Virginia, did well. He worked 2 2/3 innings in relief. He allowed no runs. He gave up just 1 hit. That was the single by Jim Rayhardt. He walked 2 and struck out none. He also hit a batter. So Jerry Arrigo, who arrived last night to join the New York Mets, is in the ballgame. Jerry is a tall, well-built, blonde left-hand pitcher of Italian and Russian ancestry, 25 years old. Came up with the Minnesota Twins, later was dealt to Cincinnati for Cesar Tovar. Last year divided the season between Cincinnati and San Diego. He saw only limited duty in spring training this year. He worked only about 7 innings all spring. And he has pitched only 7 innings this year. He relieved in a ball game against the Giants, worked 2 innings, allowed 1 run. He relieved in a game against the Dodgers, worked 3 1/3, allowed 1 earned run. And his last outing was on the 11th of May. High pop fly off the first pitch thrown by Arrigo by Ollie Brown. Under the ball is McMillan, and Mack makes the catch. So Jerry gets off to a good start. On 1 pitch, he retires Ollie Brown. Hawk Taylor is in the ballgame. He warmed Arrigo up in the bullpen and is put in the ballgame by Wes Westrom. And so if you're scoring the ballgame, the pitcher is in the number 3 spot in the order, and Hawk Taylor is hitting 9th. A line drive hit by Hal Lanier toward the gap in left center. It's in for a base hit. The ball scooped up by Cranepool and fired back in. And Hal Lanier is on with a long single to left center. So Arrigo has thrown 2 pitches. One was popped up, and the next one lined for a base hit. Big hand for Juan Maritel. Maritel lined a single to left center in the second inning, driving in a run. He fouled out in the 4th inning. Hiller defensing against the bunt. A full swing, a line drive caught by Arrigo. He throws to first for a double play. Oh, that ball was really hit. That was a shot. But it went right into the glove of Jerry Arrigo. He took one look, and there was a little white pearl, so he just turned and threw over to first base. So Jerry Arrigo, in making his debut with the New York Mets, faced 3 hitters. He threw 3 pitches, and the side is out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left on. And now at the end of 6, the Giants 4 and the New York Mets nothing.
Well, it's time again for that annual battle, man against the lawn. For years, man has fought valiantly against the ravages of crabgrass, weeds, and thirsty, hungry, fast-growing grass. Many men will tell you that their lawn eats better than the family. No matter, a lawn requires constant care and cutting. Have you decided to purchase a power lawnmower? Look for one that displays a new triangle-shaped symbol that reads in part, conforms to safety standards. Then take the mower home and spend the rest of the afternoon reading the manufacturer's instruction booklet. Take the operating procedures step by step and make sure you understand each of them. Almost ready to begin? First, check the lawn for large pebbles, sticks, toys, or debris. Keep the kids and pets away. Start the mower on firm, clear, level ground. Stand to one side and maintain a firm grip when starting. A power lawnmower is a work saver, but always maintain control during operation.
Now for the San Francisco Giants, Tito Fuentes comes into the ballgame at second base. Hal Lanier moves over to shortstop, and Jim Davenport comes out of the game. For the Mets, it'll be Dick Stewart leading off here in the top half of the 7th inning. 6 inning total here at Candlestick Park. First game of a doubleheader. The Giants, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Mets, no runs, 3 hits against Juan Maritel, and no errors. Maritel with a no wind-up delivery, and the pitch is outside for ball 1. Johnny Lewis waiting in the on-deck circle for the Mets. Stewart has been up twice and grounded out both times. Maritel came into today's game with a record of 7 victories and no losses. His 1-0 pitch, and it's low for a ball. 2-0. There was a time, year before last, when the Mets had a very excellent chance of getting into the record books with a victory over Maritel. Did not quite make it. His lifetime record against the Mets, 14 wins and no losses. Here is the 2-0 delivery to Stewart. Pitch is in for a call strike. Year before last, the Mets knocked Maritel out of the box and went to the bottom half of the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. But Willie Mays hit a home run. The game went 15 innings, and Davenport hit one in the 15th to win it for the Giants. Maritel got off the hook. Here is a swing and a high pop foul. Back at third, taken there by Jim Rayhardt. In motion as he took it, and Stewart has fouled out to third base. One away for the Mets in the top of the 7th, and Johnny Lewis is coming up. Popped out to third base and lined out to second base. A very interested spectator throughout the course of this ball game has been Mr. Casey Stengel, seated behind the Met dugout. Spent a good part of the game with his feet propped up on the back of the dugout. Here's a swing and a high fly ball to left field. Cap Peterson is racing in and makes the catch. After having circled around and got a late start, he got there in time. 2 away, nobody on base, and now Ed Cranepool, who has fouled out to the catcher and flied to center field. A bright, clear, sunny day in San Francisco, California. This doubleheader concludes the current series. Tomorrow is a travel day for the Mets as they fly to Houston, Texas, to take on the Houston Astros on Tuesday night and Wednesday night at the Astrodome. Pitch to the left-hand batter, and it is bunted foul, out of play. Cranepool was trying to dump it down the third baseline. The count to him is strike 1. In each of the last 3 years, Juan Maritel has won more than 20 games. In 1963, he won 25. 64, he won 21. Last year, he won 22. Strike 1 delivery, and it's swung on and foul back to first, out of play. Yogi Berra comes off the coaching line to field the ball, and he fires it back to Maritel. The crowd reaction to Yogi's play on the coaching line. Yogi Berra never played in the National League, except for brief appearances with the New York Mets last year. But he's well known everywhere he goes. Here's the pitch low. 1-2. Yogi Berra's popularity transcends league boundaries. He is a baseball hero. Here's a swing and a ground ball. Off the glove of Maritel at the mound. He recovers, fires on the first in time. So Maritel gets the Mets in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. The score at the end of 6 1/2 innings is the Giants 4 and the Mets nothing. And what goes with Portuguese sausages? 3 gets it.
If you go to Lisbon, you're sure to hear the fado songs Portugal is famous for. The music generates a lot of warmth, and so does the sausage they serve in the cafes. Between the two, you may find yourself ordering a lot of Cerveja Sagres, Lisbon's favorite beer. You can raise the same thirst with the same sausages and songs in New York City, and maybe you'll quench it with the favorite local beer, Cerveja Rheingold. In fact, in New York City, where there are more kinds of food and music than anywhere else in the world, more people buy Rheingold Extra Dry than any other beer. How come? Maybe it's the French malt we use. Whatever it is, we must be doing something right.
In the bottom half of the 7th inning, it'll be top of the batting order coming up for the San Francisco Giants to face Jerry Arrigo, the newest addition to the Met pitching staff, who came on in the bottom half of the 6th inning, threw 3 pitches, and got out of the inning, despite the fact that he gave up 1 base hit. Got Ollie Brown on a pop to short, Lanier on 1 pitch single to left, and Maritel on 1 pitch lined into a double play right back to Arrigo and on over to Dick Stewart at first base. Don Landrum is a left-hand batter who is grounded out short to first, lined out to left field, and grounded out to first base unassisted. The Giants lead here by a score of 4 to 0. They got a singleton in the bottom of the first, another in the bottom of the second, added 2 in the bottom of the third, and that's where we stand. All 4 runs charged against starter Larry Bernard. So the Mets, here's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Landrum playing center field for the Giants in this first game of today's doubleheader as Captain Willie Mays is being rested. He appeared at home plate with the lineup cards as the captain of the Giants before the start of the ball game, and then retired to the dugout, perhaps to the locker room. Here's a pitch in for a called strike. Breaking ball from Jerry Arrigo, obtained by the Mets from the Cincinnati Reds. Now the 2-strike delivery. This is outside for ball. It's 1-2. The addition of Arrigo, of course, gives the Mets another possibly starting left-hander and certainly another left-hander for bullpen duty. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on foul back, out of play. Now it holds at 1-2 to Don Landrum. This is the first doubleheader of the season for the San Francisco Giants, and the fans have certainly turned out for this one. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground towards second, and it's taken by Hunt back on the outfield grass. He placed the first in time. Hunt had to move swiftly to his glove side and range back a couple of steps on the outfield grass to make the play on the ball hit between first and second. Tito Fuentes coming up for his first time in this game. Fuentes has been out with an injury sustained in the Dodgers series in Los Angeles between the Giants and Dodgers just before the Mets came in here. The Mets will be in Los Angeles next weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, a Sunday singleton. This pitch is in for a called strike. Tito Fuentes. Pitch is outside for a ball. Some very interesting wind currents in this ballpark. I am looking right now at a hot dog wrapper, which is just sort of hanging up in the air at a level and floating around up there without either ascending or descending. Here's a pitch from it, hit on the ground between Hiller and the bag. Fair ball down the line and left. Charged by Cranepool. Up with it. Fuentes takes a wide turn and holds it first. A sharp single to left. drilled on the ground between third baseman Chuck Hiller and the bag. Second hit for the Giants off Jerry Arrigo and brings up Willie Mccovey. Big Stretch today has singled, struck out, and was hit by a pitch ball. The Giants 4, the Mets nothing. Bottom half of the seventh inning, first game of a Sunday doubleheader. Left-handed Jerry Arrigo off the stretch. Pitch to the left-hand batter, swung on foul. Back of first base, out of play. Cookie Lavagetto on the coaching lines at first base for the Giants. He spent 2 years as a coach with the New York Mets and was in ill health the latter part of the second year. Preferred to work closer to his home in Oakland, if at all possible. There's a swing and a drive into right field for a base hit. It is on by Johnny Lewis. Hits the wire fence in right. Fuentes is being held up at third, and Mccovey stands with a double at second base. Johnny Lewis was reaching down for the ball and just didn't bend his back far enough, and it went right under the glove and all the way out to the wire fence in right field. So now the Giants have runners at second and third. Scored as a double for Willie Mccovey. There is one man out, and Jim Rayhardt coming up. He's hit 4 home runs against the New York Mets this season, 1 in New York and 3 in this series. He's 2 for 3 and has driven in 3 runs here this afternoon. Jim Rayhardt hitting cleanup for the Giants. Is up and throwing in the bullpen for the New York Mets under the watchful eye of pitching coach Harvey Haddock. And Jim Rayhardt is being intentionally walked. The pitch is outside. First base is open with 1 man out. Hart is being intentionally passed. Right-hand batter Cap Peterson is on deck. Ball 2 to Jim Rayhardt. And it's outside ball 3. Johnny Stevenson, the catcher, takes his position within the coach's lines, extends his right hand as a target. Here is ball 4. So Jim Rayhardt goes to first with a base on ball. Cap Peterson's coming up. He's 1 for 2 and a walk. Manager Wes Western is going to the mound. Walking slowly out there. Hand thrust deeply in the right hip pocket as he walks. The sign goes down to the bullpen for Dave Eilers. So Eilers will be coming in here to replace Arrigo. Arrigo has pitched 1 1/3, at which he has given up no runs to this point. Has been touched for 3 hits. Struck out none and walked 1 intentionally. He is responsible for the 3 men on base. And now I beg your pardon, because Eilers took a couple of steps in, went back and started throwing again, and umpire Stan Landis told him to go right ahead because Arrigo is going to stay in the ballgame. Arrigo is staying in the ballgame, and he will pitch to Cap Peterson as the sign was relayed by Landis down to the bullpen, and Eilers started in, but apparently it was some sort of a mix-up on Western's signal. Here's the pitch. Swung on in on the ground, a slow roller toward third, taken by Hiller. He throws to first, and out there, but the run scores and runners move up. Fuentes crosses the plate, and the Giants lead 5-0. So Cap Peterson gets the run batted in as he grounded out third to first. It wasn't hit hard enough to make a play at the plate. Tom Haller, left-hand batter, coming up. Nothing for 2 and a walk. Eilers continues to throw down in the mid bullpen. Jerry Arrigo winds and fires, and the pitch is in there for a called strike. Giants 5, Mets nothing in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Strike 1 delivery, a breaking ball. Swung on and missed. It's strike 2 now to Haller. Actually got a little piece of it and fouled it off down into the dirt. Ollie Brown waits on deck. Arrigo's two-strike delivery, and it's low and away for a ball. McCovey is the base runner at third, and Jim Rayhardt is the base runner at second. The wind is blowing stiffly out toward right field here at Candlestick Park at this moment. The 1-2 pitch just missed outside. Arrigo thought he might get a call. Came down off the mound. It's 2-2. Arrigo looks for the sign as Giant runners lead at second and third. The 2-2 delivery. Swung on and hit in the air to right field, and Johnny Lewis hangs there waiting, and Lewis makes the catch. So the side is out. 1 run, 2 hits. No errors, 2 left, and the score at the end of 7 full innings is Giants 5, the Mets nothing. And right now we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WGY, Schenectady, New York.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California. Let's check the scoreboard. The National League, first game of a doubleheader at the end of 7 innings of play. The Atlanta Braves 5 and the Chicago Cubs 1. Dick Ellsworth relieved by Bill Paul in the 5th for the Cubs. Wade Blasingame's been in all the way for Atlanta. The end of 3.5 innings in Los Angeles. The Pittsburgh Pirates 4 and the Dodgers nothing. Bob Veal for the Pirates, Claude Osteen for the Dodgers. In Cincinnati at the end of 7, the Cincinnati Reds 3 and the St. Louis Cardinals 2. Bob Gibson for the Cardinals, Jim O'Toole for Cincinnati, Don Nottebart in the 7th, Bill McCool in the 8th. Orlando Cepeda has homered for the Cardinals, and Veda Penson has homered for Cincinnati. In Houston at the Astrodome at the end of 4, the Philadelphia Phillies 2, the Houston Astros 1. Jim Bunning against Barry Lattman, relieved by Montegudo in the 5th inning. Over in the American League, California Angels defeated Washington. Check it the other way around. Washington defeated the California Angels by a score of 6-2 in the first game of a doubleheader. Pete Rickett, the winner, and Fred Newman, the loser. Rackett and Adcock had California home runs. The second game is through 2 innings. McLaughlin against Hannon in that one. Right here, as we go to the top half of the 8th inning, Chuck Hiller is up to lead off for the Mets. In the American League at the end of 8, the Cleveland Indians 3, the Chicago White Sox 2, Siebert against Peters, Orland in the 5th, and Fisher in the 8th. That's the first of a doubleheader. Pitch to Hiller is in for a called strike. First game of a doubleheader in New York, the Yankees 5, the Minnesota Twins 3, Mel Stottlemyre the winner, Mudcat Grant the loser, Gibbs and Pepitone homered for the Yanks. Maritel delivers fastball high and tight, 1-1. A second game in New York, at the end of 3.5 innings, the Minnesota Twins won, the Yankees nothing, Merritt against Peterson. Detroit beat Baltimore 3-2 in a single game. Lolich the winner, Batena the loser. Here's a swing and a ground ball to first. Taken there by Stretch McCovey. Jogs to the bag, and Hiller has grounded out to first base on assisted. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Kansas City A's today 5-1. Earl Wilson the winner, and Ralph Terry the loser. Jones homered in the 5th with nobody on for Boston. Right here, Roy McMillan is coming up for the Mets in the top half of the 8th inning, with the Giants leading by a score of 5-0. That's high and away for a ball. Hawk Taylor is on deck now for the New York Mets, with Jerry Arrigo scheduled up next. Here's a pitch inside. Hawk Taylor has not appeared in a game since being brought back from Jacksonville. Maritel has limited the Mets to 3 hits in this game thus far. That's in for a call strike, 2-1 to McMillan. The banner being paraded through the stands right now, a huge banner by 2 young men saying "Go Mets," and they're getting all sorts of difficulty over that. Maritel with the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit deep to center field by McMillan, but right there is Don Landrum calling, and he makes the catch. 2 away, and Hawk Taylor's coming up. Say, how many good jokes did your favorite bartender tell you last year? 50? 100? Couple of hundred? Well, National Tavern Month is your big chance to pay him back a little bit. Why don't you tell your bartender one good joke this month? And you might buy him a glass of Rheingold, too. He might appreciate that more than the joke. Hawk Taylor up. Pitches outside for a ball. Taylor's first time up this season with the New York Mets. Right-hand batter. Maritel's pitch swung on and hit in the air to first base, and Mccovey backtracks a little bit and makes the catch. So sides out in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, none left, and the score at the end of 7.5 innings is the Giants 5 and the Mets nothing. And here's a song about the accordions of France. The music has a certain je ne sais quoi, like something else you'll hear about.
Le piano du pauvre se noue autour du cou. La chanson guimauve de Canini s'en fout. Mais il est pas chiant, elle lui rend bien, il est éclectique. Sonate ou java, concert ou polka, il aime la musique. Le piano du pauvre dans sa boîte à Bobert tape un air guimauve en prenant pour Mozart. Il a l'air grognon, il joue son craton, il a la perverse. C'est qu'il est pas chien et puis qu'il faut bien faire marcher le commerce.
Maybe it's our French malt that gives Rheingold Extra Dry its special je ne sais quoi. But whatever it is, we must be doing something formidable.
Alors tu viens, bon, tu vas pas rester là tout seul toute la soirée. Allons, viens.
We'll be going now to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and a correction on the information we gave you on Hawk Taylor. He was not appearing as a pinch hitter. He had been in the ballgame as the catcher and was batting number 9 in the order. So Arrigo is still in the ballgame with Hawk Taylor batting number 9 in the order and Arrigo batting in place of Johnny Stevenson. Now it's Ollie Brown coming up for the San Francisco Giants, who lead here by a score of 5-0. Brown is nothing for 2 and a walk, a right-hand batter. And Arrigo winds and fires. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Arrigo taking the sign from Hawk Taylor. And pitch low for a ball. 1-1. Hal Lanier is waiting on deck for the Giants. 1-1 pitch, and it's swung on, hit underground foul back at third. In the second game here today, Jack Hamilton will pitch for the New York Mets, and left-hander Ray Sadecki for the San Francisco Giants. This is a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul off to the right side and out of play. So the count continues at 1-2 to Ollie Brown. We'll be bringing you the game between the Mets and the Houston Astros Tuesday night from Houston. Radio coverage only, and we'll be on the air at 9:25 p.m. New York time. Breaking ball swung on and popped up in short left field. Shortstop Roy McMillan retreats, slips the glasses. Underneath, he makes the catch. Ollie Brown is popped to short, one away, and that brings up Hal Lanier, who now is playing shortstop for the Giants. Started the game at second base. Lanier is 1 for 3. Breaking ball is high. Ball 1 to Lanier. Larry Bernard started this game today for the Mets. Worked 2 1/3, was charged with 4 runs on 5 hits. Struck out 1 and walked 2. The lead by Bill Hepler, who worked 2 1/3, allowed no runs and only 1 hit. Here's a swing and a ground ball to the right side. Ron Hunt at second base squares it. Plays on to Dick Stewart in time. Lanier grounds out second to first. 2 away. And Juan Maritel is coming up. He's 1 for 3. Singles out of the run in the second inning. Getting a big hand from the Giant fans here. Maritel, who has pitched a 3-hit shutout to this point and is working on his 8th victory of this season with no losses. Arrigo delivers it, swung on and fouled off for strike one. This doubleheader started at high noon, San Francisco time. In the last half hour, the wind has picked up velocity toward right field considerably. And if it follows the usual pattern, will accelerate for about the next hour. Here's a pitch and it's swung on, hit back to the mound, taken by Arrigo, pivots and pegs on in time. So Maritel grounds out, pitcher to first, and Arrigo sets the side down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And the score at the end of 8 full innings is the Giants 5 and the Mets nothing.
This is it. You've just locked your suitcase. It's loaded with $5,000. You're making a getaway with your whole family on a Starstream jet. Why? You're first prize winner in Pepsi-Cola's $2 million worldwide family shopping spree. You're flying to your favorite TWA foreign capital city with $5,000 shopping money. And that's only part of the fun. There's a hometown shopping spree, too. All the groceries your family can carry to the checkout in 30 minutes are yours free. Runner-up prizes from Pepsi include new Oldsmobile station wagons, quarter-hour grocery shopping sprees, over 150,000 prizes, including valuable gift certificates redeemable in your favorite Pepsi outlet. Enter Pepsi-Cola's $2 million worldwide family shopping spree today. Free entry blanks wherever Pepsi-Cola products are sold. Void where prohibited by law.
Enter Pepsi Shopper Spree today. You can share in over $6,000 worth of local prizes to be awarded weekly. Details wherever Pepsi-Cola is sold.
Okay, Lindsay, 5-0 game. The Mets need 5 to tie. And they'll have Ron Hunt as their leadoff batter. He'll be followed by Cleon Jones and Johnny Stevenson. Juan Maritel working for the Giants with a record of 7-0 for the season and working on his 8th win against no losses. Juan has given up 3 base hits in the game. He has struck out a total of 4 batters, and he has walked none. Juan has pitched 2 previous shutouts this season, and he has had 6 complete games. Ron Hunt with 1 of the 3 hits. Cleon Jones, the on-deck batter, with 2 of the 3 hits. And the first pitch to Ron is a check swing, a little ground ball down toward first base. A race for first. Maritel's there first. He makes the play, and he is stepped on. Now Maritel down to the ground. He was stepped on. His right foot stepped on as Ron Hunt was out. Maritel had some trouble with an ankle and missed 1 day of his regular term. Possibly he turned the foot. So the Giants now have had 2 of their big men injured to some extent in this game. One now limping back to the pitcher's mound. He's all right. Willie Mccovey was hit by a pitch ball, and there was some concern as it took a few minutes for him to determine that everything was all right. Ron 1 for 4 in the game. He started hitting at .347. And as he came up for his final turn at bat, his average was at .347 again after going up to .350, and now he is down under that figure. Maritel taking a couple of warm-up pitches, indicating that he is all right. The next batter will be Cleon Jones. Cleon 2 for 3 to raise his average from .296 to .310 during the game. Right-hand batter. Giants lead 5-0, 1 out the top of the 9th. And the first pitch is sidearm pitch outside, and it's ball 1. Now Maritel taking the signs from Tom Haller. His next delivery, again sidearm. This one over the outside corner. Called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. now one strike. The next pitch is deep to left center field. Going way back to center fielder. He is there. And Don Landrum puts it away. Ball well hit, but Don Landrum with a quick start playing in place of Willie Mays in center field hauled it in. The wind also a helping hand as it stopped the ball from going out too far. Wind blowing in strongly from left field. And now the Mets have a pinch hitter, Ron Swoboda, coming up for the pitcher, Gary Arrigo. Mets are down to their last out here in the ninth inning. The Giants lead 5-0. Swoboda, right-hand batter, hitting 158 with one home run, 5 runs batted in. He takes outside, it's the ball. Ron was a pinch hitter in yesterday's ball game and grounded the deep short and was out in a very close play at first. Now the 1-0 pitch, taken inside, it's ball 2. This time, Maritel right off the top. 2 balls, no strikes. No strikes. And the next pitch. It's in for a called strike 1. On deck batter for the Mets, Dick Stewart. But with 2 men out, it's up to Ron Swoboda to get on for Stewart. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 men out in the top of the ninth. Pitch back is swung on and fouled. It's now 2-2. Giants with a run in the first, a run in the second, 2 in the third, and a run in the seventh, leading 5-0. A swing and a foul back on the screen, and the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ron Swoboda keeping the game going, fouling off the pitch from Ron Maritel. And now the right-hander into the windup and back again, and the pitch misses low and away, and it's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Maritel has not walked a batter in this ballgame. He has walked only 6 batters all season long. Three balls, 2 strikes. The windup and the pitch. Curveball, a hard swing, and a foul. So Swoboda stays in at 3 balls and 2. Maritel looks for the sign. Has them, goes into the windup, tries again. And the pitch is inside and high, ball 4. Maritel walks his first man. Swoboda becomes the 4th base runner against the right-hand pitcher. And it brings up Dick Stewart. Dick is 0 for 3. Right-hand batter. His average of 194. Giants lead 5-0, 2 out, top of the ninth. Mets with a runner at first base, and the first pitch is fouled back on the screen at strike 1. Juan Maritel checking the signs from Tom Howler. Now checking it first, coming back again. The pitch is a changeup that swung on and fouled over the top of the screen, strike 2. So Maritel at 0-2 with 2 out in the top of the ninth. Giants have 5 runs, a total of 9 hits. Mets have no runs and 3. And the next pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's the ball game. Juan Maritel walking off with his 8th win. He has not lost the game this year. The strikeout was his 5th of the ball game. And for the Mets in the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors for the Giants, a walk, and 1 man left on. And the final score of the game, the Giants 5, the Mets nothing.